Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the I can teach this word throughout the four corners in truth and sincerity. I'm back with another lesson through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Lord willing to be edifying us at the elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, the topic of this lesson, as you can see, all right, it's going into, the MOTB, all right, the system that is set up for the future, which will be implemented worldwide, because it's a part of Esau's, New World Order, merging man with machine, okay? And everything that's, coming out with this new technology, relates, to the scriptures. Revelation 13 and 16, when it talks about the mark of the beast, it's talking about a device, all right, mainly a brain chip, or a BCI, brain computer interface, like it says here, where man will be merged basically with machine. And with it, you will be able to buy and sell in this new war that Esau's trying, to set up. All right, this is this devil's end goal, to have everybody chipped up, and him to be as a god on earth, to rule over, everyone, to be like the Most High. But that will not, come to fruition. All right, but this is just latest news, because this happened on the 1st of June. Right, and it's crazy too, because remember that Nate was talking about, it's June, ain't no microchips. Where you have it in China. You have it in China, got approved for their world's first invasive brain, computer chip. And we know there's, other computer chips as well, more famously known with Elon Musk with his Neuralink. But this is, in the news now. All right, says China has approved the world's first invasive brain computer chip. And we know that they test out, they're the, their devices across the shores, all right, to soon be brought here. All right, in their minds, it's a race. Okay, a race, for technology. All right, like that article or that document, published on the White House, website, where it talked about, implantable technologies. All right, so their mindset is to, win. In their mindset is to win this race. All right, just pushing that, their agenda, on the people. All right, it says China has approved the world's first invasive brain computer chip. It says the country wants to become a global leader in brain implants. Strong government support is expected to help accelerate that process. It says one day last October, sitting in the courtyard of his house in China's Henan province, Duog Hu decided to see if he could hold a pen to write. Dong, 39, has sustained spinal cord injuries in a car accident 6 years earlier that left him paralyzed from the neck down. Slowly but determinedly, he wrote his name, thank you, and then the date. This was the result of a 11-month-long rehabilitation enabled by an implant in his brain. Before that process, Dong could move his arms slightly but wasn't able to use his fingers. And this is the advertisement that they're going to use, all right, for it. All right, the paralyzed are going to be able to walk again. Those with brain injuries can be repaired. The blind can see. All right, if you have spinal cord injuries, you wasn't able to lift your hands or to write or hold your neck up. All right, paralyzed. All right, this will be able for you to walk again. Going into those miracles stated in Revelation, the 13th chapter. Which is going to fool the majority of our people and really fool the world. All right, they're going to use this like an artificial, superpower. All right, and they're going to use it on, mainly starting with, people with, these different injuries. All right, to advertise it, all right, to make it look, good, but we know what it's truly for. All right, control. All right, because it's all a part of, the internet, of bodies, which has been talked about for a decade now. This is the Internet of Bodies is an ecosystem of internet-connected devices that are attached, implanted, or ingested into the human body by collecting biometric and health data, or by actively altering bodily functions. See, same thing, same concept. All right, these devices bridge the gap between human biology and digital networks. It says 3 generations of IOB. The IOB ecosystem is typically categorized into 3 main tiers based on how the technology interacts with the human anatomy. It says body externals is wearable like smartwatches, fitness trackers, hearables that monitor vitals, track sleep, or transmit data via smartphones. It says body internal, medical devices physically situated inside the body, such as pacemakers, insulin pumps, deep brain stimulators, right? And adjustable digital pills. Body embedded, advanced integrations where technology and human tissue are meshed. All right, that's going into the chip. All right. It says this includes brain computer, it says brain computer chips. Brain computer interfaces, BCIs, and implantable RFID microchips used for convenience, opening doors, or making payments. All right, that's big. All right, making payments. Okay, and it talks about more the risk and the challenges or whatever. But we know that it's all for this new world order. Okay, I went in chat. I said, did the Internet of Bodies relate to a brain chip? It says yes, brain chips can be considered part of the Internet of Bodies, because how you have the Internet of Things. All right, now they're talking about the Internet of Bodies, and this came out years ago. There's always been, this was pre-planned. All right, but they're they have to do things according to how they want to do it. Gradually set it in the system. With smartwatches, with pay by phone, wireless, digital payments, wireless payments. All right, it's quick, it's easy. Okay, so the Internet of Bodies refers to devices connected to the internet that collect, transmit, or sometimes receive data from the human body. Right, that goes into grapho. All right, and for that word mark, when you go into the word mark, it goes into charagma. All right, what goes into charax, what goes into grapho. Okay, it's just a well-known brain chip example is Neuralink's implant, which is designed to allow a person's brain signals to communicate with computers. If a brain implant sends data to or receives data from external system, it falls under the broader Internet of Body category. All right, let me search one thing up on. Because we know that they're building these data centers. It says in most cases, yes. That's why there's such a strong push, for these data centers. All right. Okay, because they need these data centers to hold, what they will want was to hold, billions, billions amount of data and information on anybody. All right. Let's go to Revelation 13 and 16. Right? We all know the precept. Revelation 13 and 16. It says, he causing all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, if you didn't hear the scriptures before, you're hearing it now. This is he. Who's that he? Esau, Edom. And he's going to require everybody, rich, poor, okay, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. It says that no man might buy or sell, say if he either had the mark or the number of the beast or the number of his name. And you can see, the direction that the currency is going. They want to, digitalize, the currency to have a full control, over it. Because with paper money, with actual cash, that can't be traced, that can't be tracked. But with a digitalized system that's kept on a database, they can know, all right, what are you purchasing? All right, what is your routines? All right, and etc. All right, to have a control over you, over this new system. All right, when you go to that word mark, all right, this is a mark, is a charagma. It says a stamping and printed mark. So when you take this chip, you're basically stamping yourself. All right, it says of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. So you take this branding. All right, it says the mark branded upon horses. You take this branding, you're basically saying that you belong to or you follow Esau, Edom. All right. Karagma goes into Karax. It says a stake, a palisade. So they're gonna use a device to insert, all right, the chip within you, all right, like a needle. They're gonna cut within your flesh and insert it. And this goes into Grapho. All right, it says right here in B, it says to commit to writing things not to be forgotten. Write down a record. What can relate to a record? All right, a database. A database holds records. All right, it's data. It says to write one by writing in a writing epistle to give information, direction. So if they want to say somebody has the chip, right? They want to search up who it is. They type in your name. It pops up on the database because you took the chip, right? Because you have niggas and heathens that go take it. They search up your name in a database, or search up your number or your social security number. All right. They search up your social security number, and it's gonna give them information. It's gonna give them the whole breakdown: who you are, male, female, where do you work, all right, your how much money you got, your health, you know, if you have any sicknesses, or what do you do on a day-to-day basis, your favorite foods, you know everything. Who's your women, all right, what time you go to sleep, what time you wake up, all right, what your thoughts is, what is your, they gonna have everything on you, all right. That's why we tell Jay not to take that shit. All right, that's one of the reasons, but the main reasons too is because the Lord told us not to take it. Because in the next chapter, Revelation 14 and 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, right? Who's the beast? NATO and the EU, all right? And his image is what? His Roman system, okay? And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right? We just went into that mark. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So you take that chip, all right, you will receive the judgment, all right, of the nukes. Because what is gonna produce that fire and brimstone, all right, nuclear nukes, all right, missiles that these nations, all right, possess, right? So this is gonna be the judgment for it. So this is the Lord telling us not to take it, because He's gonna judge your ass if you do. Okay. NLT says, and then the third angel followed them, shouting, anyone who worships the beast and his statue, or who accepts his mark on the forehead or on the hand, must drink the wine of the Most High's anger. It has been poured full strength into the Most High's cup of wrath, and they will be tormented with fire and burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb. So, you don't want to be tormented, all right, in that fire. Because what does it mean to be tormented, to be tortured? All right, it means to be tortured. All right, to torture, to vex with grievous pains of body or mind. It should say in spirit as well, because we talking about, this is the judgment of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, to question by applying torture. So imagine you within that fire, you being questioned, like, why would you take it? Or even you might question yourself, why did I take it? I shouldn't have took that shit. Because Lord gonna have you feel that fire. Ain't gonna be no quick, death. I'm talking about torture. Cause they think they get hit with a nuke. They're like, oh, I get hit with a nuke. I'm gonna die quick. I ain't gonna feel it. The Lord gonna make you feel it. It says to torture, pain, toil, torment, toss, vex. All right, it's gonna be the worst pain you ever felt in all your incarnations, all your reincarnations. All right, because the Spirit of the Lord will be on them nukes to hit their targets. Okay, but hey, the warning is out. All right, it's up to you if you go take it or not. All right, will you repent and seek the Lord in these times, or will you, put off from day to day? Because when that time comes, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. All right. But with that low one, and this lesson was edifying, I want to give our praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai Ba'Shem Kakwadash.